Now let's go ahead and make the all genres and all types work correctly. And the problem is in database.py, where we have this query that's retrieving shows. And specifically, this part here matches genre against whatever the user passed in here. And so if this is the string dash dash all genres dash dash, this is never going to match. And so the and is going to fail. And same thing with type. If this is all types, this is never going to match, and so the and is going to fail there as well. So what we really want to do is, if genre is all types, we want to skip that line, and we'll only have 2 parameters instead of 3. And if type is all types, then we want to skip this line, and there's only 2 parameters. And if they're both all genre and all types at the same time, we want to skip both of those lines and only have 1 parameter. So what I'm going to do is actually build up the SQL string by adding in the parts that I need and not adding the rest of them. So let's go ahead and close off that first string, and then here is a second string, and here is a third string, and then the last string. So this first string, I do SQL equals SQL plus that, but only if genre is not equal to that all genres. So let's go ahead and tab that over. If genre is not equal to show dot all, actually show dot show genre, so genre dot all genres, and then I need to import that. All right. So if these 2 things are not equal, then I go ahead and I include that part of the query. And then I do the same thing here. If type not equal show type dot all types, then I go ahead and include this bit. And then I always include this ordered by. Oh. Okay, so this is going to glue in the parts of the query that I need. And then the other thing I have to do is here, I have to include the right parameters. So basically there's 4 cases. So if genre not equal show genre, and type not equal show type dot all types, that should be show genre dot all genres. So in that case, I'm going to include all 4 of them. Otherwise, if genre not equal show genre dot all genres, then I know that this must be false. Because if it was true, I would have executed this clause and then dropped out of the if statement. So since I didn't get there, and since this part is true, that must mean that this part is false. And so I want to leave out type as a parameter. So basically I just do this and get rid of type. Else if type is not equal show type dot all types. So same logic with respect to this line, except this time I want to cut out genre. And then if I get here, that means they're both all genres and all types, and so I only want to pass in min votes. Okay, and if I got that right, it should work. So let's go ahead and try it out and see. Okay, doesn't look like it worked. Oh, I forgot to call fetch data at the top. So as soon as this program starts up, and I've initialized my combo boxes, I want to call fetch shows right away. So self.fetch shows, and that will fetch the shows based on the default settings for the combo box and for the min votes. Okay, so it started up. I have multiple results here, so I have to take a look at that. But looks like I have all types and all genres. So let's go ahead and filter action. So these are just action. And then let's go TV movies. Oh, and I got a little crash here. SQL contains 2 parameter markers, but 3 parameters were supplied. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on there. So neither of these should be right. Yeah, so neither of these should be all genre or all types, and they weren't, so that's good. But then I should have 3 parameters, so I must have gotten the logic wrong here. So if genre not equal show genre dot all genres, that means I specified a genre, so I'm going to include this. And oh, SQL equals SQL plus that. All right. So let's try it now. Okay, so let's go ahead and select action. And then let's go ahead and do shorts. Okay, so not many matched 10,000, so let's go ahead and cut that down to 1,000. I guess that's all there is. Nope, there, it just took a while. Okay, so this all seems to be working, and then I'm going to go back to all types, and let's go back to all genres. Okay, and then let's go movie, all genres. Okay, so that's all working. So now the reason I'm getting 3 records here for each show is that there are multiple rows in the genre table for each show. So a show can be action and adventure and science fiction, or it can be comedy and romance and animation or whatever. Any 3 genres, you can see 3 records in the genre table for each show. And if I'm not filtering on genre, I have all 3 of those coming back. So if I select adventure, then I'm only going to get the adventure row from the genres table, and so only have 1 record. So the easy way to fix that is just to, instead of selecting top 50, I select distinct top 50. And that way I'm only going to get each show once. So let's go ahead and try that. Okay, looks good. So let's go for movies. And let's go for science fiction. And then let's go all types. Okay, so looking good. And then The other thing I wanted to do was to style that table. And it's pretty optional because the thing works just fine. This isn't going to affect performance at all. So I'm basically just going to copy and paste from the existing project. I mean, I just found it on Stack Overflow using a Google search anyhow. So here in browser.py, I've moved it into a method called create Treeview style. And then that uses this method fixed map to get rid of a bug. And I put URLs in here to document some of that. But basically, these two functions, I'm going to put in my version of the program. And actually in browser UI app. And this is going to be something that I do while building setup tree. So let me put it right after setup tree, and then let's look at what the code is doing briefly. So this is making a TTK style, and then it's specifying some properties of the style. So it's styling the Treeview element. I'm setting a foreground style, a background style, and then this is working around a bug, as I said before. And then I'm creating a new style element. So there's a custom tree heading border, and then a style layout, custom tree view heading, and then cell styles. So default is north, south, east, and west, so they take up the full cell area. And border stickiness, and this is all just affecting the heading row and how that gets styled. And then this thing right here is going to set the background and foreground color of the header row. So white text on a dark blue background. Relief flat, basically, if I run it without calling this stuff, see how the header line has like these little separators there? That's because of the way the relief is working. And so if you make it relief flat, it's going to get rid of those little lines. And then I'm also styling the font to be Arial black 10-point bold font. And then this is all heading and basically makes the style. So let's go ahead and in setup tree, I'm going to go ahead and create that tree view style. And then when I do the configure, oh, I already added this. So I wanted style equal custom.treeview. So pretend I just typed that in. So now if I go ahead and run it, my header line should be a little different. Oh, and I named the class something a little different last time, so let me go ahead and fix that. It's just browser app this time around. Okay. So this should fix the header line, and it does. So now I have the flat header style with white text on a black background, and the font is Arial 10-point bold. And then the other thing I wanted to do is alternate colors on each of these rows. And the way I can do that is by attaching a mark to each of the ones that I want highlighted. So let's look at what that looks like here. So the first part is when I'm doing this insert here, I'm also specifying this tag parameter. And the tag parameter is going to be odd if the row number is even. And I'm sorry, actually I mod 2 is 1 if I is odd. So for row, I think that might be backwards actually. It should maybe be even and odd. But I'm not going to worry about the logic. The point is that I get one tag if I is odd and I get another tag if I is even. And then let me grab that and add it to mine. So that's going to be in the insert, which I have down here somewhere, right? The tag. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to highlight every row that has the odd tag to be light blue. Right here in this tree.tag configure. So odd tags get configured with light blue. And I put that in my heading configuration inside of Treeview. So let's go ahead and do that here too. And that should be it. Let's go ahead and try it out. Okay. So that looks pretty good. I think I got the colors backwards in the alternating, but I'm not going to worry about that because it looks the way I want it to look. And the drop downs, combo boxes all seem to work. That seems to work. And so that's everything for the demo version of the project. Now, I am going to make one more video where I show you just a couple of hints on stuff that you're going to need to be able to do for your project. So you're not going to be just turning in the same imdb show browser for your project. What you're going to be doing is a really similar program that fetches data out of the names database and then shows the number of babies with a given name and a given gender on a year-by-year basis. So I'm going to show you the query for that because we don't expect you to know the SQL. And then I'm also going to show you one other thing that will be useful for you, how to use a radio button so that you can select male babies or female babies.